Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Sunday, March 22nd. We're just getting going here now. We're ready to find out the final teams in the Sweet 16 here on Sunday. We're going to add some more. Get the chalkboard out. Get the chalkboard out. Is anybody feeling chalky here this weekend? Friday and Saturday so far, it's been Chalk City in the NCAA basketball tournament. Not all the all the favorites won on Friday. Another big day for some favorites on Saturday. A few shockers. I don't even know if there's shockers in there. Don't tell Sean Miller that. He said, "We're not a Cinderella. We belong in the Sweet 16." So, should be a good Sunday here. We'll preview the 8 games here on Sunday for the NCAA tournament after a crazy day there on Saturday. The Huskers, they survived after Vanderbilt. Oh, man, can you believe that kid almost made another one? This kid puts them in the bucket and they never go down with those long distance shots there. And now that was a L for me here on the show, but hey, it was a pretty exciting day there in the NCAA tournament. We'll recap and preview the action here for Sunday. We'll also talk NBA, NHL as well, and our big sports here. Should be a good day of sports betting action. Was a good day of sports betting action on Saturday. I had a big day over at Tony'sPicks.com, going 8-1 on the day. Went 4-1 with my UFC picks. And how about that main event with Evloev and Murphy there on Saturday in London? We saw a good fighting card there, and was Evloev getting that win there by decision over Murphy in that featherweight clash. Evloev, the 245 favorite there. In that one, Murphy did stay within the spread there, but Evloev got the win. I had some winners over there, 4-1 with my premium picks, as I had yesterday. Uh, Mason Jones over Axel Sola there, a favorite winner there for Jones. I had also Wood plus 3.5 on the spread there in a win over Keita. Wood actually got the win there in that fight, and also had a winner with the over in the fight between MVP Michael Page and Sam Patterson, as Page was able to get the win there in a battle of guys from the UK. Also had Luke Riley minus 3.5 in his fight against Michael Aswell. We've interviewed Aswell before on some of our shows. He's a good guy, tough fighter, one of the toughest chins in the game, but fell short against Riley there. And oh man, I had a loser early in the card with Shamrock, should call him Shamrock, as Abdul Karim Al Sawadi got the win there. Oh, I had Rock in that one, but 4-1 there with my premium picks on the UFC card, and also had some winners yesterday in college basketball as well. Let's recap the tournament here from Saturday and try to find some underdogs here in the NCAA tournament. Did you guys have any? Did you have a dog anywhere in there on Saturday? Take a look at some of the games here from the teams advancing into the Sweet 16 here in the second round on Saturday. Included Vanderbilt, as I said, losing to Nebraska 74-72. We did have the winner on the under last night in that game. It was actually the freshman of Nebraska, Frager, with the bucket with 2.2 seconds left. Tyler Tanner, 27 points. He's the one that tried to throw in that half-court shot buzzer beater that rattled in and out. Oh, man, there in that one. We did have the under, though, here on the show yesterday. You know, Vanderbilt led early, kept the lead for a lot of the game. They led by 5 with 5:30 left in the game, but the Huskers are to the Sweet 16 for the first time. They hadn't even won a game in the NCAA tournament before this year's event, and here they are in the Sweet 16. Got a pretty good team, no doubt about it. team's been growing for a couple of years now. They're probably worthy of reaching this milestone. Also had High Point here on the show last night, plus the points. Arkansas got the win, 94-88. Man, that thing was scorching there early with the leads there, and man, it felt like they were going to get 200 points in that game there for a while. Went to 182. We did have High Point though, plus 11 points. They led by one with 8.5 left in the game, but Darius Cup, 36 points, 6 assists, 11 of 13 from the foul line. He was 11 of 13. High Point was 10 of 11 from the foul line. So they won the game maybe there on the foul line. Bob Martin, 30 points for High Point. Good-looking player there. Calipari, yeah, he's been to the Sweet 16 a few times. This will be trip number 17 for Cal to the Sweet 16. One upset there that what did happen there, if we want to find one, Nebraska was also an upset. They were a 2-point dog, so a few dogs did come in later on the card. But like I said yesterday, Friday, 16-0 were the straight up for the favorites, and also 12-4 ATS. But Texas over Gonzaga, 74-62. Yeah, we had Texas here on Night Moves last night. We had a strong day here on Night Moves, actually, in the NCAA tournament. Was Texas. Zags led by 8 with 4.5 to go left in the first half. But man, Texas's big man, Bocatanis, 17 points, 9 rebounds for the big 7-footer. Gonzaga misses the Sweet 16 second year in a row, and now they think they're going to be going to the Pac-12, making it a little tougher. Or was it tougher? I don't know really now in the new Pac-12, but they had made it 8 of the 10 previous years. I said Gonzaga does not have their typical Gonzaga team. They lose to Texas. We had Texas here on the show last night, and I had a premium pick winner there with the total to go under as one of my 3-0 in the NCAA tournament with my picks over at Tony's Picks, 3-0 yesterday. Here also was Michigan State, one of my picks there over at Tony's as a premium pick. I had Michigan State there. We had the under as a winner here on Night Moves last night. I'm trying to find a loser here with my NCAA tournament picks. There are a few coming. Stay tuned. But Michigan State, 77-69. Jeremy Fears, 12 points, 16 assists for the Spartans. Is that typical Spartans guard that Izzo always has, it seems like, when they do make any kind of run, and he fits the bill. Cohen Carr, 21 points, 10 rebounds. Louisville, just about 36% from behind the arc there, but Spartans were 14 of 19 on the foul line. Louisville just went to the foul line 6 times in the game, and they didn't have Mikael Brown, so Michigan State wins, and they're on to the Sweet 16. Houston over Texas A&M. Did we have Houston here on Night Moves last night? You bet we did. We laid the points. Another winner here for me on Night Moves. Houston, 88-57. Houston, an easy win. They led by 18 at halftime. Very efficient. Shot nearly 60% from inside the arc. Cougars dominated the boards as well, 46-29 there in that one. Cougars advance. You know, they'll always run out of gas. They're the Cougars, but here they are back in the Sweet 16 for Coach Sampson. Also, Illinois over VCU. Did we have the under as a winner yesterday on Night Moves? Yes, we did. Another winner for us here on the show as Illinois won it 76-55. Illinois outscored VCU 41-27 in the second half to take over. I might have been on VCU there yesterday, but our winner here on the show was the under, and Illinois will play Houston in a very interesting Sweet 16 game. There. One bummer was VCU guard Lewis. He sprained his ankle basically in the first minute of the game and didn't return. It was a big factor, actually, in the end for VCU. They just didn't have their guy in there. Lewis, a pretty good player. They really needed him, and he left the game in the first minute with a severely sprained ankle. Stepped on his own guy's foot. All right. And hey, they weren't all winners here, although it was Duke over TCU, 81-58. We had TCU, and they were really they were in the game there for a while, but then Duke just took off. Duke uh, led 30 or Texas TCU had the lead there for just a little while, but then Duke took off before you knew it was like 65-50 all of a sudden. We did have the under as our premium pick winner over at Tony's Picks there. Stayed under there for the most part. We had it at 140. Apologies if you did not get in on the right number there. I know that the line in the game actually went a little bit lower than that for some, but it did close upwards of 140 and a half, 141. I know that some folks might have ended up with a 138 and a half. Very few, but there is that possibility. But we had the under as our premium pick winner there. I think most people probably got home with the under there. Like I said, closing numbers were 40 and a half and 41. So final score 81-58. Horned Frogs, 5 of 10 from the foul line. Duke inside was dominating there in the second half, made it look easy with their bigs there inside. So, all right. Michigan did rout St. Louis here. That was a loser for us on the show. I liked the grit of St. Louis, but Michigan proved that they belong not only in the Sweet 16, but probably even further, 95-72. Mara, 16 points, had 4 block shots as well, and they pulled away in the second half, outscoring the Billikens by 14 for the 23-point win there, and Michigan dominated the boards. That's one thing you see in these games. The team that controls the boards a lot of times are winning these games. When they dominate the boards, they are winning. Not seeing many teams not dominate the board should be, kind of a relative fact, but still. All right, I think that was a pretty good day, I'd say, right there in the NCAA tournament. I'm going to keep it going here on Sunday. Visit over at Tony'sPicks.com with our premium picks. Check me out over at Tony's Picks. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Sunday. I'm going to be rolling in the NCAA tournament, coming off a perfect day there in the NCAA tournament. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at the site. This is where you can get our best bets every day over at Tony's Picks. And should be a pretty good day here on Sunday. You can click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, and get signed up. That's how we roll over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can also click on the Premium Picks tab, one of my favorite things to do. See who's got packages up, ready, and available for the action here on Sunday, including Hollywood Sam. He's got a guaranteed pick pass in there with a couple of soccer games and an NCAA basketball pick. Joey Tron got his slam dunk here in the round of 32 as well. As we get ready to go to the Sweet 16 after tomorrow, we'll know who they are there. The Tony's Picks VIP account's got a 3-pack there in college basketball out of the 8 games. Also, David Racy's got an early college basketball winner ready to go on the early card. Brian Bittler got a 10-star college basketball Sunday titanium wager in there. Rod Zawacki's got a college basketball 5-pack in there. Rolling with Rod on Sunday. And Tony T's got a 3-pack in there from the NCAAs. Damian Sosh has a 10-star pick in college basketball, and Ron Crawford's got his top play on the ice. Hey, I won my top play on the ice as well. That's how I rounded out my day. 4-1 in UFC, 3-0 in college basketball, and I had one play in the NHL, and that was the over with Tampa Bay and Edmonton. Tampa Bay got an empty net goal. I needed the empty netter, but it did go over as Tampa Bay rocked Edmonton. Really a bummer there for Edmonton losing Draisaitl. It can't be under spoken here a little bit. Edmonton has had their woes here defensively, but they were able to outscore teams because they're just dynamic, of course, with McDavid and Draisaitl. But losing him here for the rest of the season, that's just heartbreaking for Edmonton, because that offense still able to win and outscore teams out west. So that's going to be crucial there. We did have some night moves winners here yesterday with Buffalo and the Kings under there. How about Buffalo? Do they just win every game? I mean, why even play the playoffs here at this point? Buffalo, just outstanding. It's going to be good in the East because it is wide open. And Buffalo, as hot as they are, I mean, they just beat the Kings here on the road 4-1 yesterday. We had the under in that one. Uh, Not a great night here. In fact, I will just chalk it up this week. Was not great here on the show in the NHL, but we did have Ottawa there yesterday. Puck line winner over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Stolars left the game there, I think, with a injury to his. Took a puck to the neck, so bummer there for Stolars. Also here had a night moves a winner with the Lightning there last night, but really couldn't find many winners on the show. I'm surprised you guys haven't fired me for my NHL here over the last 3 days. NBA, though, we did strike a few in there for sure. We had the over with the Thunder and the Wizards. Let's keep it in the hoop, I guess, right now. We also had the Hornets, a winner here on the show yesterday, and also brought home a night moves winner with the Atlanta Hawks over the Golden State Warriors. Also here, night moves winner, Philadelphia and Utah game to go over. And then late night, we did have the under there in Milwaukee and Phoenix. So just about a split there with the NBA free picks on the show. But hey, we made up for it, I think, with those college plays. All right. Thanks for joining me here. I'm watching right now. I don't know if you want to get on this. The score here is starting to pile up a little bit, but I am on watching some live footy here while I'm doing the show, and I'm on North Melbourne here against the West Coast Eagles. I did lay the 13.5 points with the North Melbourne Eagles. They are up 31-6 already. I guess it's going to be hard to get on that, I'm afraid. Total, I went under 165.5, but man, I should have got on the air just a little bit earlier to give you that one. But a little bit of footy is what we're watching here is our action here this morning. All right. Anyways, check us out there over at tonyspicks.com. Click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. Use that promo code. Where's the promo code? There we go. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout. You know, you see me on some other channels and some other shows talking sports and sports betting, but just know that right here at Tony's Picks, this is where I start out every day with my top plays. These are my boutique plays, my high roller plays. These are the ones. Hey, look, when you go to Tony's Picks here, you're buying premium picks here, and these are the ones you're going to want to put your top dollar on, right? I mean, if you're, with all due respect, if you're, paying for our picks over here at Tony's Picks, these are games where you're going to be placing your bets in the three figures here. You got to cover these costs. I've got to hit better than 52.38% with these plays because, these are tout plays. And I got to hit well over 56.5% to get these home. So, want you to make sure that you are playing the right amount and not playing not enough here because that's how it works over here with our premium picks. Again, these are my highest level of picks every day, and they start right here at Tony's Picks with this great group of cappers over here on the site. Okay, thanks for listening to that. We're going to preview the action here in just a moment. I want to say hello to the chat pros coming in. We got some comments to say hi to everybody here. And SETI plays games. Is that right? SETI plays games. Nice to have SETI plays games. I'm starting soon. I'm trying to get here on the air. So much action. I'm trying to make sure we have a decent show. Hopefully some decent picks. LALB is here today. Tim M is joining us. Great to see Tim. Gazzo is here as well. And Timmy Two Shoes is ready to go with our pick segment here as well. Also want to say hello to Jack Fly. He's here. He says, Duke cannot hang with Arizona. Oh, man, that's going to be – I'd love, where those teams are right now. I mean, what can I say? I guess I don't care here. I've got a future on them both. Remember, I've got 3 futures here, and they're Duke, Arizona, and Arkansas. So that was all for all year here, so I'm pretty happy. LALB here. Parlay with Michigan State, Michigan, Duke, Houston. Great job for LALB. He's been rolling with his single game parlays, he says as well. Hey, Jimmy Akehouse is here today. He says, "Did Alabama stand a chance against the Michigan Wolverines?" Oh, man. All right. Uh, yeah, Jimmy, I tell you what, Alabama, uh, what can you say about the Crimson Tide? We'll talk about them here with their matchup today. And that might be it from the crew. All right, let me get rid of the. Uh, there we go. Oh, there we go. All right, we're going to get ready for the show and get ready for the previews. What I do is I preview each game, talk about the game a little bit, and then I ask you for your picks on the game and show them on the screen. It's all about more about you than it is about me, but I'm going to try to pick the winners with you here right now for the games on Sunday. And great card here, of course, for the action here today. All right, and let me see here if I've got it all straight with the crew. Okay, here we go. get my notes ready here as we get ready for the action here on a Sunday. All right. There we go. A few more comments in here. Let's see who we got here. Richie Rich is here. All right, ready to go in that one. All right, and Mr. How about that fight in the Wizards OKC game, right? Hey, if you're the Wizards, what are you gonna do? You know, you might as well try to fight these guys. But Thunder had the last lap. Remember, we laid 21 points. It actually closed a lot of places 21 and a half, landed 21. So I couldn't take credit there for any winner there. All right, we're going to get ready to roll right now with our previews here for Sunday's action. And start with the NCAA. We're going to cover the NCAA. No NIT here coverage today, but we might have time for some later round games once we get into the when they're playing on the solo days. But come on, we're not going to downplay the NCAA tournament. It's all about the NCAA tournament here on Sunday. So let's get rolling here with the show and preview these games, our 8 big games here for Sunday. We'll start it off here with action from, let's see, in St. Louis is going to start us off here. You know, a lot of people complaining on social media about oh man, we got to watch I'm guilty too. You know, we got to watch the solo games there early on, but that's part of the contract for CBS. I mean, they pay the money to have that solo window there, so they pay the big bucks. They get to play those solo games, and then that's how it just works out. You notice when they go to the multi, that's when we're going on the other I'll say lesser channels, but okay, let's just get rolling here with the Miami Hurricanes. Are going to start us off here on the show, taking on the Purdue Boilermakers. The Boilermakers are favored in this one by 8. Total 147.5 here in this one, with Purdue favored. You know, it might be down to 7.5 here a little bit. Maybe the totals tick down just a notch, but for the most part, it does feel like 8 here right now. And, for Purdue here, look, they've won 5 straight. I think Friday's win was kind of stress-free there, if you will, beating on Missouri 80-66 is a 1.5 point favorite. Beating Queens College 104-71. I'm thinking of the Hurricanes here, but Purdue beat up on Queens College there, 104-71 for their 5th straight win and 2nd straight cover. Of course, they covered against Michigan. Purdue has not been a great cover this year, 14-20 ATS, also 11-18 against the spread as a favorite. They are a top 10 rebounding team in the country. Remember what I said, teams that kind of control the boards are winning the games. Purdue went 11-1 in non-conference play. They were also 12-8 were the Boilermakers against teams in the top 50, similar to the Miami Hurricanes. The last 2 years, the number 2 seeds are 6-2 against the spread in the second round, heading into not including Saturday's games, but Purdue have won their last six second round games. Miami 9-3 straight up in their last 12. They were a little bit busier in that game, as I mentioned, the 80-66 win over Missouri. Miami is 18-15 against the spread this season, 6-4 against the spread. As an underdog, Miami went 12-2 in their non-conference games. Hurricanes, pretty decent team shooting inside the arc, 57% in the top 35. Miami did just go 8-7 versus teams in the top 60 this year, but Miami also a top 10 team on the board, so that kind of neutralizes anything there, I think, in the rebounding department. Miami's won their last 4 second round games coming in. They've gone 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games overall. Have the Miami Hurricanes. They are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games against Big Ten teams. Purdue, meanwhile, just 3-6 right now in their last 9. Purdue's gone over in 8 of their last 11 games overall. They've also won 8 straight games against ACC competition here, but Miami's been doing a pretty good job here right now covering these numbers. Look, Purdue's got a good team. They got obviously a great point guard, the all-time leader now in assists in NCAA history, in Smith, and pretty good for sure. But man, I feel like Miami here. I mean, they're a team that's doing a real good job covering numbers here right now. Like I said, Purdue not a great cover at all, so they could probably get this win, but I'm not sure they are equipped maybe to cover this 7.5 or 8. But let me hear from you guys in the chat, and I'll respect what you guys have to say here when Miami takes on Purdue here in St. Louis. Remember, I was like, man, Miami's got to be bummed. They got to play Missouri basically in their home state, a near home game, but they beat them pretty good in that game there by 14 points. So, all right, let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one with Miami and Purdue here on Sunday, the standalone game to start it off here with the NCAA tournament. We try to get down to the Sweet 16. The Hurricanes, a great turnaround, man. They were 7-24 last year, and to be here just one step away from the Sweet 16. They went 14-6 in the ACC. Purdue 17-7 in the Big Ten. Here, Miami, got 2 good scorers. You think about Malik Renaud and Trey Donaldson. They both played in the Big Ten last year. Renaud, remember, he was with Indiana, and Donaldson was on Michigan last year, and they're on Miami this year. So I think that's interesting. All right, let's go to the chat. See what you've got here. That'd be Miami against the spread, says Mr. Westers. LALV's liking the Canes as well, and also in the first half. And Timmy said, you know what? You see all these favorites right now getting it done here. Could Purdue just add to it? Fishden is here. Fishden says Miami, no sweat. And that might be it from you guys in the chat here. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Hurricanes for sure as my play here on Night Moves. I like Miami here to cover against Purdue. I like their personnel here, and I'm going to take them plus the points in this one. These two teams haven't met in 6 years. Miami did win a game at home against Purdue, 58-54 several years ago, but I don't think there's much to it. All right. Going to keep it moving here right now. We got 8 games to preview in the NCAA tournament for Sunday. Kentucky Wildcats are going to take on the Iowa State Cyclones here. This is game 2 in St. Louis, the standalone games here. And you have the Cyclones favored in this one by 5. Total 145.5. It might be moving, just jostling here a little bit between 4.5 and 5. Actually did touch uh, 5.5 there, but maybe there's been some buyback. It feels like it's settling right here around 5 right now. Total 145.5 here. For UK, they ended up the 7 seed here, but watch out. Here comes Kentucky. Those cats will rock you. Iowa State here, the 2 seed, 27-7. UK 21-13 here right now. But man, UK did it against Santa Clara there. They were able to get the win and cover over the Broncos, 89-84. For UK, just a 500 team really against the spread this season. ISU, meanwhile, come off that big win over Tennessee State. We had Iowa State in that game to rock Tennessee State. And Iowa State right now is pretty much on a cover roll at this point. Big time run here for Iowa State. They're 20-14 against the spread overall, 15-9 against the spread as a favorite. They've covered 5 straight here. They've gone under in 13 of their last 20 games coming in. In fact, Iowa State is 8-15-1 to the under as a favorite this season. Meanwhile, for Kentucky, they are 5-7 to the under as a dog, although they have gone over in 5 of their last 7 games. Overall right now, Kentucky's been a good cover too. Of late, don't slide them. 10-4 against the spread in their last 14 games overall here. They have won 13 of their last 20 overall. Kentucky has dropped 4 of their last 5 games straight up to Big 12 competition. Meanwhile, Iowa State's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games against the SEC. You guys are welcome to comment here in the chat on this one, and I'll show your picks on the screen. The Cyclones, remember, they had a 21-2 start, but have really just gone 7-5 straight up in their last 12 games. And their big man, Jefferson, I called him Justin Jefferson, of course, yesterday. I think it's Jonathan Jefferson. What is his first name? He did sprain his ankle, and his status is in question for this game, actually. He's currently here listed on the injury report as questionable for the game here on Sunday. So we'll see. Also, Xavier Mitchell, another forward, is questionable as well for Iowa State. So they do have a few hiccups here, if you will, coming into this game. Cyclones did go 14-0 in their non-conference games. They are number 4 in the country at forcing turnovers. Last two games for Iowa State here, they have gone over, including the game against Arizona that they lost 82-80 in the Big 12 tournament, but they did cover the spread in that one, getting 3 points. So let's go ahead and hear from you. Kentucky is just 5-6 straight up in their last 11 games. Remember, they had to work hard in that game against Santa Clara. It was an overtime game, so they had 3 guys play over 38 minutes in that contest. Kentucky is in the top 80 on the offensive glass. Not great considering the being a tournament team, but they also went just 9-12 straight up against teams ranked in the top 50. Of course, in their conference, that's where most of the teams lie, and they are number 60 in effective field goal defense. So Kentucky has won 5 of its last 6 first-round games. For ISU here, like I said, they are mostly an under team as a favorite here. I mean, that's kind of the direction I think I want to go. But let me hear from you in the chat, and I'll make a pick here. But I might be going with the total in this one as my pick here on the show. All right, I'm going to the chat here, see what you have. And we're going to start it off with, hey, I want to say hello to Jose Rea in there. He was rooting for the Hurricanes in there. All right, Jose, good to have you here. And let's see here. Timmy liking that Purdue lineup. Mr. Weskers is on Kentucky in this one plus the points. Timmy Two Shoes likes, I think he likes Iowa State here. And let's see here. I think he says Iowa State's been whomping people, but Kentucky's been playing strong, says Mr. Weskers. And Iowa State wins, says Richie Rich. And he does, Mr. Weskers really does like Kentucky here in this one. All right. I have my concern, with Iowa State missing a key player in here. Still feel like that Kentucky. I don't know. It is March after all. I'm not saying that Kentucky has that overall mojo, that March mojo here, but I'm going to take the under in this one with Kentucky and Iowa State. Give me the under 145 in this one. Okay, a real intriguing matchup here as we go out west to San Diego and St. John's taking on Kansas. Wow, what a matchup this is, huh? Between the number 5 seed, St. John's. They're pretty hot here right now. Kansas, the 4 seed, they've had a few losses mixed in here coming into the tournament. Of course, we know they got rocked by Houston 69-47, but did beat Cal Baptist. Did not cover in that last game in another under because, all the Kansas games tend to go under, it seems like there anyway, right? But you think it might here again. Let's see how you guys want to make the call here with this one between St. John's and Kansas. St. John's has won 7 in a row, 20 of their last 21. They had a pretty cruising win there over Northern Iowa, 79-53. St. John's is on a pretty strong cover streak right now, covering 5 in a row on that 7-game winning streak. They went 8-4 in non-conference games this season. St. John's is a top 25 team in effective field goal defense percentage in the country. They were just 5-5 against top 50s here. They're a top 30 team on the offensive glass. Patino 6-2 straight up in his last 8 second round games for Kansas here. They're just 5-5 in their last 10 games overall. They did have 4 starters play over 30 minutes in that Cal Baptist game on Friday night. Kansas is 10-7 versus teams ranked in the top 50. They do not have a deep bench at all. Kansas here, they were a top 300 team in bench minutes. Kansas has gone 6-2 in their last 8 first-round games. Kansas just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6. They've gone under in 13 of their last 18, but they are 20-13 against the spread overall this season. And St. John's is 20-14 against the spread this season, including 16-13 against the spread as a favorite. St. John's has gone under in 10 of their last 11 games right now. St. John's 10-19 to the under as a favorite. Kansas 4-8 to the under as an underdog here. Man, this feels like under city. How is it 144 with these two teams? We're going to get another game with two teams in the 60s here, it feels like, with St. John's and Kansas. Let's see how you have it. Am I wrong about that? Am I just thinking that maybe when they're playing lesser teams, it should go under, and maybe this is still going to be an over? I don't know if that's the case, gang. What do you think here when St. John's takes on Kansas at old Viejas Arena in San Diego? St. John's, like I said, not only the win there, but they will be without guard Sajanovic, but he's been out. Let me see what the true injury report says here right now from yesterday. I know there was something here. Yeah, okay. For Kansas here, some rotation players will be out of this game. Thingbaugh, a guard, he is out. Cross, a guard, he's out. And Allen, a guard, is out. Calderon is probable here, but Kansas is facing some injury bug here, it feels like to me. So let's see what you have though here in this one. You know, I have St. John's running pretty deep here. I know Bill Self can pull these off. I understand, but let's see how you guys have it in the chat. All right, here we go. It's going to be Mr. Weskers is on Kansas against the spread. Tim likes St. John's here. And Darnell Green is here today. Thank you. Hi, Darnell. Good to see you in the chat there. He's got St. John's money line and the under here. Also, Timmy liking St. John's. He's got Darren Peterson going to the Nets. And Fish Den loves St. John's to roll. He says they'll win it by 35. Man, if Fish Den, like, I'm going to, you know what? I love that total, but I'm going to go. Hey, if Fish Den likes St. John's that big, I'm going to take him here. I think I'm going to take St. John's actually here, plus minus 3.5. Give me St. John's as my pick here on night moves there. I think I'll be using that total for sure. Okay. Going to keep it going here right now. Keep it moving. Look at this one here. A lot of orange. Tennessee taking on Virginia. This one's in Philly at 6:10 Eastern, 3:10 Pacific, with Tennessee coming in 22-11. They're the 6th seed. Virginia 29-5. They're the 3 seed coming in. Virginia off of a win over Wright State. 82-73. We had Wright State plus points, of course, in that game for Tennessee. Meanwhile, they beat Miami of Ohio and covered the spread kind of with ease in the end when it was all said and done. Virginia, an underdog for just the 6th time this season. They are 4-1 against the spread as an underdog. Meanwhile, Tennessee just 14-19 against the spread overall, 10-14 against the spread as a favorite. So, given Tennessee favoritism here by 1 point. I do some sharp books, though, at a pick 'em here right now. So, I still maybe one, but some pick'ems out there. No matter what, it's still probably kind of a toss-up here. Tennessee's actually lost 4 of their last 7 games. Didn't really have much stress in that game versus Miami. They went 11-3 in non-conference games. They're a top 35 effective field goal percentage defense. Talking about the Tennessee Volunteers, they went 10-9 against top 50 teams. And we talk about the rebounding. Tennessee is the number 1 team in the country on the offensive glass. Tennessee's won 4 of their last 5 second-round games for Virginia. They've won 14 of their last 16. They beat Wright State comfortably, but they played a lot of their bench in that game. I think they're pretty well rested. No player played more than 30 minutes in the game. Virginia, number 5 effective field goal defense in the country, 12-1 in their non-conference games this year. Virginia, 9-3 versus teams ranked in the top 50. The last 3 years, the number 3 seeds are 1-6 against the spread versus number 6 seeds in the second round. So that would favor the Tennessee Volunteers. Virginia is in the second round for the first time since they won the title pre-pandemic in 2019. Let's see how you have it in this one with Virginia here taking on the Vols. Virginia for a time, they were also threatening there in the ACC. I mean, we know Duke was the team, but after Clemson kind of fell off, it felt like Virginia was going to be the team that had a chance. Tennessee's Jacoby Gillespie had 29 points in the win over Miami of Ohio. It looks strong there, 6 of 11 from 3-point range. But Virginia, they counter with Jakari White. He had 26 points against Wright State. He made 6 3-pointers in the game. This is the 15th time these teams have met, 4th time these two teams have met in the NCAA tournament. They've met in a regular season game last year. It was Tennessee winning 64-42. in that game. It was actually in November of 24, still last season, but early season matchup there. So feels like contrasting momentum, man. I mean, Virginia, 14 of 16 wins, and Tennessee basically lost 4 of their last 6. So the balls seem to be turning the corner before that, but then they hit the wall there at the end of the season. So let's see what you have here in this one with uh, Tennessee taking on Virginia here tonight. I'll go to the chat and see how you guys rate this game. Tennessee's won 6 of their last 7 games against the ACC. Tennessee's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games overall. For Virginia here, they've gone over in 5 straight. They're 8-3 in their last 11 games straight up against the SEC. Virginia here, like I said, over in 5 straight, but 15-19 to the under overall here. So let's see how you have it here with Tennessee taking on Virginia. All right, let's go to the chat here. Pardon me, gang. Just have a little bit of technical issue here. Here we go. Here we go with your picks. Okay, Mr. West says everybody's on Virginia. He's going to take the Volunteers. Darnell says Tennessee easy. Timmy's on the balls here. A lot of balls support. Fish Den says lay 3.5 there, says Fish Den. That was that other. Oh, thanks, Fish Den. Sorry about that. Hey, Thomas is here. Hello, Thomas. Hey, aren't you up past your bedtime? Great to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining me over here. Talk about my OG right there, Thomas Lewis. I miss you in the chat. Thank you so much. Great to see you in there. That makes me feel really great that you're here tonight. Fish Den says he's got the Virginia money lean there. Thomas liking Virginia as well. And Timmy Two Shoes, what does he say? He's torn in that UCLA game. Kelly's here tonight. Kelly's up late night with me here, hanging out. And what was that total set last year, right, Kelly? In that crazy game that they had, it was 127.5. So it was kind of that typical, Virginia game. Look, we've talked about this a lot, right? Everybody said Virginia, a new team, a new era right now, but it hasn't really been that way. I mean, they're not a total under team like in the years past, but they've definitely been having some unders here. Now, yes, the game against Wright State did go over, but that could have been. In fact, they've had here, like I said, 5 straight overs right now. And I know I've had a few L's here, actually, here in the last few games, because I kind of was riding that Virginia under trend. At one point, they were 10-19 to the under overall. And, everybody's saying, hey, they're not the same under team, but they were, coming in with a lot of unders. But I want to say there's Soundman BK in the chat. Oh, he played the dogs there, it looks like he's saying. Oh, we'll get him back. We'll get him. And Jimmy says these are some hot numbers. Soundman, he's on Miami. He's also on Kentucky there. Thank you. All right. Mr. Wesker said, well, you know what? It's like when you don't see I guess if you went away for a few weeks, I'd be excited. All right. Hey, anyway, for me, I got to take the Cavaliers here. I appreciate you guys really liking Virginia right now. Tennessee in there. And, hey, I don't mind these guys. Like I said, you got a guy like Jacoby Gillespie in there, but I got to take Virginia and this momentum here right now at a pick here or a +1. All right. And Soundman says right there, he says this game might get stuck there, in a low score. Good point. Tennessee's really been in an under crush here of late with all those unders here, 7 of 8 under. The only game they went over was that game against Vanderbilt. uh, the regular season game against Vanderbilt, the championship game against Vanderbilt, or the game against Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament went well under there at 142, and it was 147 and a half. Not well under, but under. Okay, I'm going to take the Cavs here in this one. All right, and Iowa's going to take on uh, Florida. Whoa, Mr. Wester's ain't going to like that, spelling Florida wrong. Okay, here we go. Florida. There we go. Don't want to do the Gators like that. All right, this one's at 7:10 Eastern, 4:10 Pacific here in Tampa. First game of the night, actually, here in Tampa with Iowa, number 9 seed coming in here, 21-12. The Gators are 26-7 coming in, top seed here for Florida. They come in off of that win over Prairie View of 114 to 55. They only beat them there by 59. That was slightly more than the UCLA victory today in women's college basketball. They won by 53 points, covering 51. Florida was not a 50-point favorite against Prairie View, but they probably should have been. So they covered 35 and a half in that one. Iowa, meanwhile, looked good in the win against Clemson, 67-61. It was good news because Iowa was, I'd say Iowa was having a little bit of concerns there late, losing games to Ohio State, Nebraska, Michigan. They failed to cover in a win against Maryland. So, Iowa was having a little bit of hiccup there right at the end of the season. Meanwhile, the Gators were doing pretty well. Yeah, they lost to Vandy. I get that. But and they didn't cover against UK, but Iowa comes in here 22-12, 11-11 in the Big Ten. Florida was 27-7, 17-3. In the SEC, Iowa with that win here to move on. Florida's defense got to focus on Iowa's Bennett Sturts, the honorable mention All-American. He really struggled in that Clemson game, going just 4 of 17. He was out there taking up space, but Florida dominated that game against Prairie View. 5 players scored in double figures. Thomas Howell, 17 points. And, they dominated on the glass, of course. That's what they do. He come in here. Iowa just 1-5 all time against number 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament. So facing a significant underdog role here against a Florida team that's built with fast pace and physicality. Iowa, they've lost 7 of their last 11, and they played their guys there quite a bit in that last game. Iowa, number 15 in the country at forcing turnovers, or in number 20 in effective field goal percentage offensively. They did go 12-10 versus teams ranked in the top 100. They were 11-1 in non-conference games, but they played one of the easiest non-conference schedules in the country, number 336 out of 365. Iowa has not been to the Sweet 16 since 1999, so we'll see here, but feels like a tall order going up against the Gators in this one. Florida with wins in 13 of their last 14 games. They went 14-6 versus top 50, but remember when those losses kind of came. Florida's a top 20 team shooting inside the arc, and also Florida just 31% on the arc. So, that could be better, but, they're top 5 in rebounding. Last 10 years, Florida 2-3 in second round games. Iowa here 4-8 against the spread in their last 12, just 4-10 straight up their last 14 against SEC competition. Florida, meanwhile, has covered 15 of their last 20. They've gone over in 4 of their last 6 and over in 4 of their last 5 against the Big Ten. So let's see what you have here in this one. Still a dicey number here at 10.5. Let's go to the chat pros and see what they have in this one. We'll start it off here with Soundman. He's got Iowa here plus the points. And Mr. Wesker is going to be on the Florida Gators here. And Mr. Wesker's giving me a hard time yesterday because I wouldn't go with Michigan State. He's trying to give away the premiums. He says, "Oh, Ramon's not even giving Izzo," and I had Michigan State as a premium. I wasn't going to tip my hand. Okay. All right. Hey, Sadly Burner's in here. Oh man, poor Sadly Burner wants to know who's going to win the Jets and the Rangers game, and it's the only game we're not having in the previews. I might have to add it now. I've given up on Winnipeg's chances to make the playoffs. I kind of kicked them from the broadcast, but I've got Sadly Burner in here, and I got to make Sadly Burner happy. All right, and Thomas, like in Florida. Timmy says Florida's going to cook these guys right now. He likes that chalk. And Mr. Wesker says a little bit of concern there with the guard play. All right, that might be it from you guys in the chat here. Soundman does like Arizona apparently in their game. We'll get to that game here in just a moment. Darnell, Gators, and the over here. Okay, man. It is a daunting number, but it does feel like a kind of a gap in talent for me here, just enough. I think it's going to come close to that number, and this total, I'm kind of have it. Right on, but Florida at 12-16 to the under is a favorite, but Iowa did go 20-13 to the over this season. But Florida 16-12 as a favorite, and Iowa 4-5 ATS as an underdog. So I've got the Gators here minus the points over Iowa. All right, and let's keep it moving here right now. You guys were talking Arizona basketball, so let's talk it here with Arizona taking on Utah State, waving the flag for the Mountain West here in this one. Utah State comes in the number 9 seed, 28-6. Arizona, 32-2, number 1 seed here in the West. And looking good, didn't they? They looked pretty good, I'd say, in that win over Long Island. But, hey, it was an easy game. They covered 30.5 points, no problem. For Utah State here, they got the win over Villanova, 86-76. They're kind of on a little bit of a roll here with 4 straight covers during their winning streak right now. Utah State's won 5 straight, going 4-1. Against the spread. Their only game they didn't cover was against New Mexico as a 7.5-point favorite at home. They won by 4. Utah State just 2-5 straight up in their last 7 games against the Big 12. Utah State has gone over in 9 of their last 13 games. Arizona has gone 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 overall. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5. They're 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games against Mountain West competition. Arizona here, 10 straight wins, 6-3 ATS also in their last 9. They had it relatively easy there in that first round game, obviously. Last 3 years, number 1 seeds are 8-4 against the spread in second round games. Arizona was 14-0 in non-conference games this year and 16-2 against teams ranked in the top 50. They do have the number 1 effective field goal defense in the country. And so far, under Coach Tommy Lloyd, 3-0 in second round games since he's been with the Cats. For Utah State here, they've won 14 of their last 17. They played their starters some pretty heavy minutes in that first game against Villanova. Utah State went 10-1 against non-conference competition. They're a top 20 team in forcing turnovers in the country. They went 16-4 against teams in the top 100 this season, and they're a top 10 shooting team from inside. Utah State's been to the second round just 2 times in the last 30 years, and they lost them both. See what you guys have here in this one with Arizona taking on Utah State on Sunday. And I'm ready to hear from you guys here in the chat. Utah State had to work hard to come from behind in that game against Villanova. They had a 13-3 run to end the game. MJ Collins, Mason Balseb combined for 42 points, 32 of them in the second half. Arizona, meanwhile, in that dominating blowout, there looked pretty good. Toby Awaka averaging nearly 10 rebounds a game, and Matias Kribas also, the 7'2 junior center, averaging 8 rebounds. Braden Burry's in there. Koa Pete. These guys can crash the glass on these guys, even though Utah State's pretty big in there for a Mountain West team. Aggies actually lead the all-time series 3-1, but they haven't met in 20 years. So, okay, let's see what you got in the chat. Mr. Westers is tired of Arizona already. Timmy says Utah State could backdoor them here, but Arizona could pull away and drain Utah State's life away. Thomas Lewis says Arizona alternate spread. I'll put them in a parlay there. All right. I think that's it from you guys in the chat. So I got to make my call here in this one between Utah State and Arizona. I got Arizona State to blow them out. I got Arizona. Did I say Arizona State? Arizona to blow out Utah State. I've got Arizona to rock here in this one. So does Sound Mark. So does Sound Man. Thank you, Sound Man. Yeah, I'm taking Arizona here. I think Utah State's really going to have a trouble scoring in this one. You figure with this total pretty high here at 154 and a half here. Yeah, I don't know if Utah State's going to get into the mid-60s here against this Arizona team. So I'm going to take Arizona here in this one. All right. Well, the referees better have their earplugs in this one. You got a matchup of 2 bratty coaches here in the Coach Mickey for UCLA and Coach Hurley for Connecticut. UCLA keeps having to make these long trips, so they didn't do them any favors sending them here to the East Regional in Philly, but Connecticut favored by 4.5 here against the Bruins in this one. You got UCLA coming in here right now off of a win over UCF. Did not cover in that game. I took the Bruins. They were kind of on a cover streak, even covered the game against Purdue in the Big Ten. But, man, they did not cover. Got the win, though, over UCF. Connecticut's been a horrible cover this year. 12-22 ATS, 11-18 ATS is a favorite. UCLA just 6-6 against the spread as a dog. For the Huskies here, 8-4 in their last 12 games after a 22-1 start. They did play 4 starters over 32 minutes in that first round win. Huskies 10-1 in non-conference games. They do have a top 10 effective field goal defense this season. They went 7-3 against top 50 teams this year. UConn, of course, has won 2 of the last 3 national titles and lost in the second round last year to Florida, 77-75, and the Gators, of course, went on to win the title. UCLA, they've won 7 of their last 9. They also played their starters a little heavy in Friday's game. Bruins 9-3 in the non-conference games this season. Bruins, a top 20 team from 3-point range, they just don't take a lot of 3-pointers. That always bothers me, and you got a team that obviously shoots it well, and they don't really take a lot of shots. They were 8 and 9 against teams ranked in the top 60. They were a top 300 team on the defensive glass. They really lack in there. Under Cronin, 3-1 in second round games. So let's see what you have. I mean, their rebounding numbers can be troubling, talking about the UCLA Bruins, but let's see what you got here against the Huskies. And Coach Hurley here, these two guys, I don't really like either. I'm okay with Coach Mickey now and then, but all right. Now, UCLA's leading scorer, Tyler Badeau, was ruled out of the game in the first game. That was a bit of and again, it felt like they were pulling the rug from out under us because they told us he was going to play in the game, get right before tip off, and he's still wearing his warm ups. And you see Cronin there kind of talking to him like they knew he wasn't going to play. So I don't know. It kind of felt like they were pulling a fast one on that one. His status remains uncertain here with the knee sprain. So they do need him, Tyler Bilodeau, in the game, but he did miss the last game on a late scratch there on Friday night. So for Connecticut, Silas Demery and Jalen Stewart, they're questionable too, although Hurley did say that they're trying to get available, but those are key guys missing as well. I mean, that really key guys actually there for the Connecticut Huskies. No wonder they didn't cover the 20 points against Furman. We had Furman in that game. So let's see here what you guys think in this one. UCLA has had some top 10 wins there in conference play recently. Nebraska, Michigan State as well. So Connecticut, I thought, did dominate there against Furman, but they only won by 11. I think that showed. Terrace Reed had 27 rebounds in that game, and he could have another. Now, I don't know if he'll get 27 against UCLA, but he could have another big game in there rebounding for Connecticut. Okay, I think that you guys are ready in the chat with your pick here in this one with the Bruins and the Huskies. Right. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Under might not even reach 130, says Soundman. I agree right there. And Mr. Westwood says you got to respect those national championship coaches. No, I don't. Not if you're a dick. Hurley here for Mr. Weskers. He does it through, intimidation. No, you wonder why Connecticut doesn't get the call. They get screwed every game, no doubt about it. And it's because the referees they're not going to give Hurley. I mean, when you abuse officials with such, a vulgar language like he does, there's just no way. You never get the call. Connecticut never gets the calls because of this guy's a jerk. Darnell Green here, UCLA in the under. I mean, no wonder he's going ballistic every game. It on top of one another again and again. And so the referees are just, in the back of your mind, you're just like, I'm never giving this call. UConn here for Timmy Two Shoes. Thomas Lewis liking Connecticut here. Also here, let's see. Timmy says UCLA can make UConn work for it. And the injuries are a big factor in this game. I think it's kind of why maybe I was, kind of rolling there a little bit. But I'm going to take the total under in this one between Connecticut and UCLA. Give me the under here at 136.5. I'm going under. All right, let's hey, we got one more here, the last game of the night with Texas Tech taking on Alabama here. Wow, Texas Tech, they're doing such a nice job here right now. And Alabama got off to that awkward start here, obviously. They're missing one of their players, uh, 16 points per game. He was arrested and charged with uh, uh, possessing 2 pounds of marijuana, and he got suspended there, I think, from the team here. I think they had bail, but I don't think he's playing here, obviously. All right, but let's talk about it here with Texas Tech taking on Alabama in this one. Don't forget, Texas Tech's best player has been out here for quite a while, and JT Toppin. No relation, by the way, to the Toppin brothers. Obi Toppin, we know is a man. His brother played too, but uh, Texas Tech here, 23-10. They are a slight favorite in this one against the Crimson Tide. They did play their starters pretty heavy, did the Red Raiders in that victory last time out. Texas Tech was riding a 3-game losing streak before they beat Akron 91-71. An easy cover there in that one. Meanwhile, for Alabama, they won and covered over Hofstra after Hofstra got off to a great start as well. So both these teams, were kind of surprised early. Texas Tech against Akron was a total whitewash there by the end of the game, but it was 40-35 at halftime. Akron got off to a pretty decent start in that one before, kind of falling apart there in the second half. So Tech, they still have lost 3 of 4 here, obviously, but Texas Tech, shoots nearly 40% from 3-point range. That's number 3 in the country. They are very prolific from downtown. Tech did just go 6-9 versus teams ranked in the top 50. Tech has won 4 of their last 5 second-round games. They've had a good time here in the tournament when it gets to this point. Alabama's won 10 of their last 12 coming in. They also, come on, they shoot 53.7% of their shots from 3. That's number 1 in the country. So you got basically the number 3 3-point shooting team in the country against the number 1 3-point shooting team in the country as far as volume is concerned. So although I will say, their man that got kicked off the court there because of his problems, he was one of the best shooters in the country. Really was shooting 44% from 3-point range. Talking about Alabama's suspended player Aiden Holloway. For Alabama, they have gone to the 6th year in a row here in the NCAA tournament. They made it to the Sweet 16 or better in each of the last 3 years. So see what you got here. I feel like they're, where's the 170 here? I got to go over in this one. Come on. This one's going to be over city. I'm going over with Texas Tech and Alabama. Give me the over in this one. All right, let me get your plays here in the chat. And we've got here, let's see. Fish Den likes Texas Tech. He thinks that situation is kind of bogged down Alabama a little bit. They did get it rolling there eventually. Thomas is on Texas Tech here. Mr. Weskers is on Texas Tech. Timmy Choo-Shoes does like Alabama here. He just doesn't trust Texas Tech. But again, they've been here in this point before. All right, and let's see here. Sound Man, he likes it under, though. He likes it under 150. He's a extendo this one here. There'd have to be it would have to be poor shooting. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I don't think these two teams are going to change philosophies for this matchup and say, hey, let's slow it down. I think they're going to think that they can, just run and outpace and outduel. It feels like if it goes under it because the teams ended up shooting, probably under 30%, I would imagine, from 3. I think that'd be the way to look at it. Alabama is 18-14 to the over. Texas Tech is 14-18 to the under. So They're not necessarily an over team, an over team. And Alabama, like they're not really either. 5-3 to the over is an underdog, though I will say. For Tech here, they've gone under in 8 of their last 12 games, but Alabama's gone over in 8 of their last 12. Tech is 12-6 straight up in their last 18, 11-5 straight up in their last 16 against SEC competition. Alabama's covered 4 of their last 6, although just 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games against the Big 12. All right, I'm in. I'm taking the over here in this one, and that's it for the college basketball session. Thanks, everybody. Great run. Great job there. All right. Hey, we've got a nice NBA card here. I've got 4 games to look at. We did kick out the Nets and the Kings from the games here in the NBA tonight. So we'll start it off here with the Portland Trailblazers taking on the Denver Nuggets. In this one, you got the Nuggets here favored by 8.5 against this Portland team. Denver likes to play to the level of their competition a little bit. Portland comes in here pretty hot right now, straight up and against the spread here of late. Portland, 3 straight wins over Brooklyn, Indiana, and Minnesota. Went 2-1 ATS in those games. Meanwhile, Denver coming off of the win there over Toronto last time out, 125-115 at home, but they did not cover 6.5. Denver just 22-25 against the spread as a favorite. Portland 22-18 against the spread as an underdog here. Maybe Denver has been the slightly better team ATS here, but it doesn't feel like they aren't necessarily killer in this spot against a team like Portland, trying very, very hard right now. Portland, look, they're in. I don't want to say these teams are going to get complacent at all, because, again, you want to try to work your way up the ladder here in the conference standings. You don't want to be stuck here like Portland might be in the 9 spot. You've got to get to the 8 spot. They're currently tied with the Clippers, although they don't have a tiebreaker against them, I don't believe. But Clippers and Trailblazers right now, both with 35-36 records here. And, the Suns are 4 games ahead of them. So now, the way things are starting to shake out, it does feel like the Clippers and Trailblazers are going to be battling for the 8th position. And as I've said time and time again, in the play-in tournament, you really need to be in the 7 or 8 position. The 9 and 10 never, the 10 never goes. The 9 barely has gone ever. And the 7 and 8 are the teams that pretty much always go. So, for Portland here, they want to get to this spot. They have a motivation. The Nuggets, meanwhile, have their own set of motivation. They're in a battle here for the 4, 5, 6 with the Rockets and the Timberwolves. The Lakers have started to get away up into 3rd place. So the Nuggets here, 4th place, far more important than 5th place if you had to look at some of the positioning there in the Western Conference. So let's see how you have it here in this one with the Trailblazers taking on the Nuggets here on Sunday. Peek at the injuries here too in this one. But 8.5, and the total here 242.5. It's already gone up here from 240 right now for Denver. Good news, Peyton Watson questionable here right now. All signs are pointing to him returning here for Denver tomorrow. Still listed as questionable, but the talk was that he was finally going to make it back here for Denver. For Portland, Jeremy Grant is questionable here. So I'm taking the Portland Trailblazers, though, in this one. Playing very well. They're playing competitive. Kind of like what they've done all year long here. Denver, to me, not a real instinctual team as far as feeling motivated to blow teams out here. So I got to take Portland here in this one as a dog. But 242.5. I mean, you got to think that that is legit as far as the move, the total itself, very very high here. Denver 29-18 to the over is a favorite. Although Portland 16-24 to the under is a dog. It's really mostly Denver that's the over team in this case. The two teams did play back in February, and Denver put up 157 points on them, actually, in a 157-103 win, and the total in that one was 240 as well. These two teams, I believe, will play one more time here in Denver here before the season closes out. Let's go. We'll go to the chat here and see what you have in this one, though, with Portland and Denver here on Sunday. For Denver right now, they've gone over in 7 of their last 8 games with Portland as well. Although Portland here, 3-10 straight up in their last 13 against Denver overall. Denver also has gone under in 8 of their last 9 games at home. So even though we talk about all those overs this season, they were at one point 14 and 9, I think, to the over at home, but it's been a lot of unders here of late. So I'm going to take Portland plus the points here in this one. Let's see what the chat has to say. Nuggets here for Mr. Weskers. And Nuggets is a big under at home, says Soundman. He's seeing it lately going under. He likes what he sees there a little bit. All right. Also here... yeah, Aaron Gordon's been back here now. Great. Denver for Timmy Two Shoes. Fish Den, though, says over still. No defense against no defense. I think if you look at the big picture overall, but again, Portland, not a big time. Portland is more of an over team at home than on the road. I will say that. All right, here's Timmy thinks Braun will have a big game. Hello to Jermaine out there today. And Mr. Westers thinks the Blazers are due for regression here. AJ the Kid's here. He's ready for his Hurricanes Penguins preview. You know we're going to take a look at that game here. We'll get to that one for sure. And Jermaine says Denver's an under team here now. And Timmy says, now the Nuggets are finally healthy here, ready to go. And Jermaine says, now that Gordon's back, Denver's shifting back to kind of an under team. He missed all that time, and they were racking up overs. But, okay, there we go for that one. I'll take the Blazers, though, here. Yeah, we're skipping the Nets and the Kings. No, they're not going, everybody. Let's go to the next one here. We know the Wizards aren't going anywhere either, but the Knicks are going somewhere, I think. So we got the Knicks here favored by 20 in this one, and probably should do the Nets and the Kings. It's only a 4-point spread, but you do have the Knicks here favored by 20. They're on a winning streak, and well, Washington's on a losing streak. We know that. We've made fun of them all year here right now, or all for the last month or month plus. Here currently. Right now, the Wizards are now at a 15-game losing streak at this point. The Knicks, meanwhile, they have won 5 in a row here coming into this one. Washington here has covered 4 of their last 6 games, however, but just 1-5 against the spread against the Knickerbockers. Knicks have gone under in 10 of their last 15. They're 2-5 against the spread in their last 7, talking about the New York Knicks. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Washington's gone over in 9 of their last 12 games coming in. Knicks have been a great cover at home all season, no matter how you look at it. 23-12 against the spread. Meanwhile, Washington just 12-21 against the spread on the road, even with this awful situation. Now, they have covered here 3 of their last 5, getting close to 20 points against very good teams. They played Oklahoma City. We're getting 21.5. They lost by 20, although that was yesterday, and they're on the back-to-back. They did lose to Detroit, and they were getting 19.5 in that game. They lost by 13, got the money. Now, they did come back 2 days later and played Detroit again. Now, these were at home. but they were only a 14-point dog in that game, and they ended up losing by 22 points. So they covered against Detroit, um, getting 19 and a half. Next game they were playing was a 14-point spread, and they did not cover. They also covered against Boston in a 111 to 100 loss, getting 20 and a half. So it does seem, they've covered 3 out of the last 5 getting this number. We're in the tankathon, obviously, here. Uh, uh, See how you have it. Look, they played back in February. It was the Knicks winning 132 to 101. They also won back in November, 119 to 102. Here in New York, Knicks covered that one is a 13-point favorite. This is, these are tricky, I know, but let's see how you have it here in the tankathon. All right, let's see here. Thanks, Damon. He did pick the Kings game for us. There's our coverage right there. Damon, he's our official picker. All right. Timmy here says Spike Lee should play. Mr. Weskers cannot lay 20. Maybe Washington last night. They had a fight. They'll get all fired up. I don't think anybody's suspended just yet, but they might be by tomorrow. Sometimes they wait there, I think. All right. And let's see here. 20 points says too much. Fish Den liking the under here. He says Wizards won't want to score. Knicks do play down to their competition a little bit there. I think if you look at right now the way that it's going, Washington 36 and 29 to the over as an underdog, and a little bit to the over on the road. Damon says take the Wizards plus 20. And right, Mr. Weskers, 20-point spread, 20 and a half there, and they covered by the hook. They got there in that game today, that fight in there. I'm taking the Knicks. Give me the Knicks here in this one on night moves. All right, I gotta bet the Knicks here. Can't give out plays without. Now I can't. I'm not saying we're gonna be playing the. Playing it heavy, but okay, here we go. Let's move on. Okay, now we're talking. How about this one with the Timberwolves taking on the Celtics? Yeah, a little bit of a bummer, though. We don't have the Timberwolves at full strength there right now. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a factor coming into this one with Ant out. Jaylen Brown is probable here. Vucevic is still out, of course. Naz Reid is questionable here for the Timberwolves. So, yeah, a little bit of a bummer here for the Timberwolves without a full lineup anyway. But, again, the Timberwolves, they're mired in that jostling position here in the Western Conference, trailing the Nuggets, trailing the Rockets. You're trying to get to 4th place, but it's tough when you're losing your best scorer here right now. Meanwhile, for Boston here, 4-game winning streak for the Celtics, and getting some numbers too. Not in all of them. In fact, 1-3 against the spread. I thought they covered that game against Phoenix. No, they were favored by 8.5, and they won by 8. That's right. So 1-3 actually for Boston in the 4 straight up wins here right now. Boston currently trailing the Pistons by 4 games. We're down now here to just 12 games left for the most part for a lot of these teams. 4 games is a lot to make up in 12 games when you're talking about the elite teams, right? Because they're going to keep winning for the most part. So, pressure's on here a little bit. Celtics going to need to keep winning, but the Pistons may have played well enough here despite that little hiccup to hold these guys off here right now. Minnesota just 30-41 against the spread this season, 14-20 against the spread on the road, although 7-7 against the spread as an underdog here. Celtics 40-30 ATS, 28-23 against the spread as a favorite for Boston. Boston just 2-4 ATS in their last 6, despite winning 4 of their last 5. Minnesota's just 3-15 against Boston over the last 9 years. Also 5-13 against the spread in those games. So they've had trouble with the Celtics for the most part getting the number. Boston's gone under in 11 of their last 15 coming into this one. Meanwhile, uh, uh, Minnesota's under in 9 of their last 12. Both these teams solid unders here right now. We know Boston's been a hot under all season, 25-45 actually to the under for the Celtics, including 13-21 to the under at home and 18-33 to the under as a favorite. Yes, Minnesota is an under team for the most part. And like I said, they've been going under solidly here of late, but they are 21-13 to the over on the road and 8-6 to the over as a dog. Still, without Edwards, you'd have to think that maybe it goes the other way anyways here in this one. So I'm going to take the Celtics here to keep it going right now. I'm going to take the Celtics to cover double digits. I know it doesn't seem like a great proposition here. Boston, not a great team when laying big numbers here, but I'm going to try them in this one against the Wolves here today. Okay, here we go. And let's see here. Mr. Wesker said the line may have moved from 10. Timmy's going to take Minnesota here in this one, and Fishden says you got to go under here with these two teams. And look at that, 219.5 right now. It was 221, so it's already kind of started moving under. You got to think it's going to be a pretty good pick there, I think, by Fishden. One more in the NBA tonight, and it's going to be the Raptors are right here. Okay, Raptors here in this one, taking on Phoenix. Phoenix is all of a sudden on a losing streak here, big time. Now, Toronto coming in off of a loss to Denver, but they've covered 4 in a row, 3-1 straight up, 4-0 against the spread. Phoenix here, losing streak right now for what poor timing for the Phoenix Suns. Talking about that 7 spot. I think they'll hang on, but they've lost contact, with the teams ahead of them. So they're just trying to hold on here for this 7 spot. That'd be fine if they could get it. I mean, that's pretty much an automatic bid into the postseason, but not if you keep losing. But still, feels like a pretty good spot for Phoenix still. Toronto, meanwhile, like I said, pretty hot run here. Beat Phoenix, Detroit, and Chicago before losing to the Denver Nuggets. Toronto, 19-15 against the spread on the road. Phoenix, though, 42-29 ATS. Despite this 5-game losing streak, they did have some covers in there against San Antonio and Boston. So here you do have, I tried Phoenix last night in that game against Milwaukee. They definitely fell flat again, losing to the Bucks 108-105. Milwaukee came in and played an inspired game there in that one. So, there's got to be some questions here a little bit with Phoenix. I mean, they're on the back-to-back. I want to come in with them again just because they're off of a loss, and I'm going to take Phoenix here against Toronto, even on the back-to-back. I think that's probably why I'm on them here, because they lost last night. Let's see what we got here in the chat. Damon was on the Raptors here. And let's see here. Raptors for Timmy says that, the problem with the Suns is battling some injuries here right now coming into the game, and that's been mostly the factor here of late for the Phoenix Suns. I thought they're kind of mostly getting back to a decent health, but you do have O'Neal questionable, Coffee questionable, Grayson Allen questionable. I don't think he's making it here. Highsmith is probable though. All right, Suns ATS maybe here for Mr. Wesker. Says the Bucks are probably due for a win. Fishden, though, like in Toronto, though. And Thomas says he wants the Suns as well here in this one. All right, that's a look at the NBA. Oh, let's see here. Jimmy talking about Gillespie in there. Okay. All right, I've got a hockey card to look at here with you guys tonight.
Urgent
And let's get to it. All right. Well, you know what? I think we've got to preview the Jets and the Rangers because let me type it in here. I really shouldn't skip out on the Jets. I mean, they still have a chance here. Maybe it was my bad here to kind of maybe I was just trying to be lazy, trying to find a couple games so we didn't have a you know go through all the games. But looking at the standings, you still have to consider Winnipeg in there. They're 5 points currently back of the LA Kings, so they should be in the preview. This is how I like to do it. If you've got a chance here, you're still in it. They're actually, oh, I'm sorry, they're 5 points behind Nashville now, right? Because of Nashville winning again. So 5 points down. We right now with basically 12, 13 games to go for most teams in the season. So let's give Winnipeg a chance. Let's preview the game too by special request there. Here we go. Okay, we typed it in. We've got the Jets here. We're taking on the Rangers. Oh, look, we got to preview this game. Look who's in. Look at what's going on with the Rangers here. You got their highly touted goalie prospect making his first start. How exciting. Dylan Garand here for the Rangers. I think this is a good to go here, actually. I think Garand is going to be in there for sure for the Jets. Now, unfortunately for him, they're playing at home. So they're going to lose this game. So probably just take the Jets here. Give me the Jets. You want a preview? There it is. Hot new goalie prospect making his NHL debut. Unfortunately, the Rangers are at home. Take the Jets. If it were only so easy. Jets have lost 3 in a row. Rangers have lost 3 in a row here. Like I said, Jets, not a good time for a losing streak here. You're trying to get up there. And look, as bad as the Rangers have been at home, the Jets are kind of that bad on the road. So maybe, the Rangers are favored here. I kind of get it, I guess, right now. But it's still the Rangers at home where they've had all these, all their woes, right? This season, the Rangers 9, 17, and 6 at home this season. They're only down 15 units at home this year. But the thing is, Winnipeg on the road's down like 12 units. So maybe Winnipeg a little bit better team here in this role because the Rangers can't win at home. The two teams did play their first meeting of the season 10 days ago. Jets won on the road. Of course they did, 6-3. For Winnipeg here, they are just 8-20 as an underdog this year. Rangers 13-13 as a favorite, though. That's not good. And like I said, they're not great at home. But Winnipeg 11-16 on the road. So that's not great either. But just because we always fade the Rangers, and here you got a rookie goalie. Now this kid's supposed to be pretty good. I mean, that's why he's in there. He's been playing with Hartford, I think, right? Hartford's their club. So Winnipeg's won 5 of the last 7 against the Rangers. 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Rangers have gone over in 7 of their last 10. Winnipeg's gone over in 4 of 6. Winnipeg's lost 5 of their last 6 on the road and 5 of their last 7 overall. They're not great as a dog. So, but I'm taking them here. I'm taking the Jets in this one. Give me the Jets over the Rangers and the rookie goalie here. Jets over here maybe for Jermaine. Timmy says he likes the over in this one. Fish Den liking Anaheim at home there a little bit. Okay. Let's see here. Winnipeg also here for Fish Den. Yeah, we weren't going to either until one of our guests there. I hope he's still here. I hope he didn't. He might have left because I said we're not previewing that game, but changed my mind. And then now I hope he's here. I hope you're there, my friend. And Timmy says Comrie can be decent at times. All right, Rangers. Yeah, they started to win some home games for sure. And there's Sly in the chat. He likes the Jets under. Hi, Sly. All right, I'll take the Jets. All right, the Avs are taking on the Capitals here in this one. We got the Avalanche, $1.50 right now. Total six here in this one. Hey, the Avalanche tapped their losing streak. They lost three in a row before they beat the Blackhawks here the other day, 4-1 on the road. Washington, meanwhile, a couple of wins in a row here at home over Ottawa and New Jersey. They've won 3 of 4. Washington, pretty much toast. They'd have to really get it going here right now. They're 6 points back of Detroit in the wild card with 3 teams ahead of them. So they need to win and need help probably for the Avalanche here. First team to clinch a playoff berth and first team to reach 100 points here with their win last time out. So looking pretty good, but Dallas has been on their tail all season long now, it feels like. But for Colorado here, 22-7 on the road, but Washington 22-11 at home. This is really where they do some of their best work here right now. Colorado's terrific, and we know that. And on the road, though, despite the fact that Colorado is such a heavy favorite, if you've been bet on them every game this season, with their incredible record here of 45, 13, and 10, you're basically breaking even. So they're not a great money making team. Washington at home, they're 22-11, as I said, but they're only up a unit and a half. So kind of a break even situation for these two teams in this role. Now, I will say this. I mean, you talk about teams that you got Colorado here, 13-20 to the under on the road. Washington, 14-23 to the under at home. That'd probably be the direction you should look. Washington's gone under in 5 straight and 8 of their last 9 at home. Colorado's gone under in 4 of their last 5. Colorado's won 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams. I mean, they're the better team, but Washington, this is, at home, at least they hold their home ice advantage a little bit. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over, but let's see what you got here. I'm probably willing to take the Caps here as a dog, actually.
Final.
See what you got here in the chat with me. Here we go. Oops, let me go to the comments here. Under for Jermaine here. And Timmy says, go under. You got that 6. And Fish Den also liking the under here. Okay, hey, you guys are pretty solid on the under, and I don't mind that pick at all. So I'll go with Washington here. I kind of like that under, and you might see that somewhere along the line with me here in the next few hours, if you will. Let's keep it moving here on the NHL tonight with the Predators are taking on the Blackhawks. We're still rolling a little bit. I mean, still, covering here the Predators. They also are not done yet here necessarily. You've got their work cut out for them right now here, but they are back into second place in the wild card. They're in the playoffs here right now with a 3-game winning streak. Congratulations, Nashville. Not done yet, but they've worked very hard here. And, like I said, there was a time when we said we're starting to bet Nashville. We're betting Nashville more often than not, it felt like. And I don't think we've been rewarded here a little bit by betting Nashville in a lot of these games here currently. Chicago's actually lost 3 of 4 coming into this one. Nashville's looked good in these games here. They're still 18-30. 13-15 on the road. Want to look at this line here real quick. Yeah. Okay, it's mostly a pick'em, or the Predators are a slight favorite here right now. Chicago is 28-41 to the under this season, 14-21 to the under at home. Meanwhile, Nashville 14-19 to the under on the road. So could be lacking for goals in this matchup. for Nashville here. They won 14 of the last 17 meetings against these two teams, against Chicago. They are just 3-9 in their last 12 on the road, though. However, Nashville's gone under in 9 of their last 13. Chicago's gone under in 5 of their last 6. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under here as well. Chicago's lost 10 of their last 13 at home and 14 of their last 19 overall here. I'm taking the Nashville Predators in this one. I can't stop betting Nashville. That's what I do. Let's go to the chat, though, and see what you have in this one. This might be the spot for Chicago, but Nashville's worked too hard here at this point. Let's go to the chat here. All right. Blackhawks for Timmy. Fishden will lay it on the puck line here. All right. I'm taking Nashville here. I do think the Sharps will be on Chicago here for the most part, but all right, we're going to keep it moving here right now. I know that, man, I feel like I'm kind of going with kind of fading the Sharps here a little bit, it feels like, in the NHL. I usually don't do that, but all right, next up.
Critical notice.
Hurricanes and Penguins here in this one. And you got Carolina here looking strong, 44-19-6. Got to give Pittsburgh some credit, though, for where they're at right now as well. Pittsburgh currently sitting in position here. They're 8 points behind Carolina, but they're battling Columbus really for second place. And, they're not really that clear of the wild card. So these two, Pittsburgh's got to keep up the pressure a little bit here. They are at home, a little bit of a dog here against this hot Carolina team. Carolina winners of 2 straight here currently, but they didn't play that well. I didn't think they beat Pittsburgh 6-5. That was in a shootout, and they beat Toronto 4-3. That one was in a shootout. So a couple of close games here for Carolina of late. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, 17-9 at home. They do play very, very well here at home. These two teams met back just 4 days ago, and it was, oh man, you got getting old here in my back. Oh, sorry, gang. Okay, met just 4 days ago. It was 6-5. They also met here 12 days ago. So they played here. This is the third game basically in 12 days between the two. Carolina did win them both, although one was 5-4 in a shootout at Carolina, and the other one is 6-5 in a shootout at Carolina. So playing very, very close games between these two. Carolina $1.35 favorite in this one. Carolina's kind of had Pittsburgh's number also of late.
Final.
Carolina 5-1 their last 6 meetings. Carolina's won 11 of 15. Pittsburgh's won 6 of their last 9 at home. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams here have gone under, and 8 of the last 11 games overall have gone under. Kind of a contrast to the way these two teams are playing this season, because Pittsburgh's 22-17 to the over as a dog, and Carolina's 35-28 to the over as a favorite. Pittsburgh's gone over in 8 straight games. Carolina's gone over in 8 of their last 12. So, yeah, maybe the series history is an under, but these two teams are going over quite a bit here right now. Let's see how you have it in this one with Carolina and Pittsburgh here on Sunday, with Carolina road favorite here. Man, this price is getting high. The rent is too damn high, it feels like here. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Penguins in this one. Oh, man, I've got all sides here. Where are the totals, Ramon? Where are they? Here we go. It's going to be nothing here from the crew, huh? Can't see. I can't hear. All right, nothing from the crew here really in this
Final.
one, it looks like. I'll take Pittsburgh here as a dog against Carolina. You got to figure this is going to overtime or shootout. Over for Timmy. Okay.
Final.
Let's keep it moving here right now in our next matchup between Blue Jackets taking on the Islanders here in this one. Blue Jackets, slight favorite on the road here, $1.15. Blue Jackets have been playing great. We know that, but starting to see the goalies information coming through a little bit. Maybe a few changes in there I should have had. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, so here you got Columbus right now. Like I said, they're battling Pittsburgh here.
Final.
Basically tied here right now with these two teams overall. Coming into this, Pittsburgh led them by 1 point right now over the Blue Jackets here. Blue Jackets 37, 21, and 11. Winners of 4 straight. The Islanders have lost 2 in a row right now, dropped games too. Ottawa and got clobbered by Montreal last night, 7-3. Columbus won at home against Seattle here, 5-2 for that 4th straight win. So Columbus just playing really well right now. What are they, 7-0-3? Let me get in their last 10 here. Let's see here if I got it right.
Final.
Yeah, 7-0, 8-2 straight up in their last 10. Columbus just
Final.
1-7 straight up in their last 7 road games against the Islanders. Islanders have won 13 of their last 18. Columbus has been hot, but the Islanders are playing, well too. And we know the Islanders right now. I mean, we know this is important to them. They are 1 point behind the Red Wings in the wild card berth here right now. So they are
Final.
on the line too. But basically, man, important game. Battling here with these two teams. Now, look, these are over city if you talk about these two, right? It feels like here right now of late. But let's see what you guys have in the chat with this one.
Final.
Overall, they're not big overs. Columbus is 17-11 to the over as a favorite, but just the last few games here. The Islanders run an under streak before that 7-3 game yesterday, and then Columbus 2 straight to the over. All right, I stand corrected there in that one. Just give me the Islanders here in this one at home. I'll take them right now. I think they need this game just as much, and they played pretty well against Columbus. I'm going to take the Islanders here at minus $1.05. Man, I'm on all the sides. All right. Hey, West Coast is here. He can see my hair. What a poignant comment. All right. Fish Den taking Tampa Bay on the puck line. It says Tampa Bay 4-1, last 5 on the puck line. Hello to Moon Man out there. Hello, happy birthday to Moon Man. He's on Columbus. He went to the movies for his birthday. He went to see Melania. Isles need a win, says Timmy. He wants to play him. Jermaine says it'll be over with these backups in there, these backup goaltenders. And, all right, I think that's it. We'll keep it moving here. We're going to keep going pretty quickly here the rest of the show. Spend a couple hours with you here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Golden Knights taking on the Stars. Big, fat, important game here again with these two, right? You have the Golden Knights here currently in 3rd place in the Pacific, kind of teetering there. They got a little bit clear here of the Kings right now, so I think they can be holding on here. They're actually pressuring with Edmonton at 77 points right now, and Anaheim at 80 points in the Pacific Division here overall. But the Stars favored $1.40 here at home against the Golden Knights. Knights are struggling with 3 straight losses, and they have not looked good in those games here of late. Lost last night to Nashville 4-1. They actually scored a goal, which was a big deal because they've been outscored in the last three losses here to Buffalo, Utah, and Nashville by the score of 10-1. So they've really fallen on hard times immediately. Now, maybe this would be a game. You got to have a get right game. I mean, they're not this bad, but you're taking on a Dallas team here that's still trying to pressure Colorado, one of the best teams certainly in the league right now. Talking about the Dallas Stars, they've beaten Vegas in 4 straight meetings here right now, and it looks like a reasonable price here to me at $1.40 or so. As far as the total is concerned, I don't know which way to go here necessarily with these two. I'd probably stick to the season series when these two teams play, actually. But it's usually an over, but the last one was 2-1 just 12 days ago. Dallas won at home in that game. Dallas has gone under in 4 of 6. Vegas has gone under in 7 of 8 because they can't score. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone under between the two. We're in Dallas, so why wouldn't it go under here? I'm going to take the under in this one with Vegas and Dallas. Give me the under. Let's get some comments from the chat. We're rolling along here. And, man, what a comeback by the West Coast Eagles. Man, they have come all the way back here. Remember when I was saying, oh, boy, you got to get on North Melbourne, and it was too late. They were hot. But West Coast Eagles have come back here, and they're leading 79-61. I'm gonna lose. I'm hopefully I get the total. All right, here we go. It's going to be Jermaine's on the Stars here. Timmy said Stars in regulation. Timmy's afraid to take him in the puck line there. And Mormon says he might go over if Ottinger's in there, I think is what he's saying, with Otter in there, yeah. Fishden says he likes the under in that one. Just too much juice at 6.5 under 30. Fishden, I wouldn't, my philosophy on the hockey totals is I really think for the most part, going up and buying a half a goal or less, or even $1.30. Look, the great thing about hockey, and yes, there are some outliers, right? You get some wild game or whatever, but in my experience, the game lands 5, 6, or 7. When you get up to that next number, especially when it's a solid number and you've got that push protection, like who was commenting about that in the chat just a minute ago. It makes such a big difference. And I don't know, I feel like books don't charge enough juice sometimes. And I don't mind laying juice on totals. I don't do it at Tony's Picks. I'm never going to, lay anything over $1.40 over there. But I don't mind. I buy, when I'm betting hockey totals, I'm buying half goals almost all the time. All the time, I promise you. Hey, Larry Martin, good to see you. He's in at work. Hello to Larry. Any of your coworkers can hear me, Larry? Hello to Larry's coworkers. Yeah, I love it, Fishdan. When I'm just look, if you feel confident, just take, if you like a 5.5 under, you take it, right? Because you could probably get a good price. But man, to move that thing to 6 and say it's only minus 30, 35, I think it's great. It's one of my favorite things to do. Promise you that. All right, I'll go under though in that one. Okay, another big, oh my goodness, look at this one right now. Somebody was talking Ducks hockey in the chat earlier. Here come the Sabres. Gosh, can you believe these guys? We already said, we were talking last night, right, about, when is the fluke over and when is it for real? I mean, it's got to be for real, especially how wide open the Eastern Conference is here right now. Now they're on the back-to-back. They've won 4 straight. They got to be due here. You got Lyon in goal. You're going up against the Ducks. Ducks have won 2 of their last 3. They've kind of shaken off that little bit of a skid that they had. The Ducks had the day off, but they just beat Utah here. But yesterday, the Buffalo beat LA 4-1 after beating San Jose 5-0. Beat VGK 2-0. Had back-to-back shutouts in there. The most incredible thing about this Buffalo team is how good they have been defensively, I think. And I think it's really been part of the big surge here that they've had is just a great team defense. Buffalo's 12-1 in their last 13. They've won 7 straight on the road. And they've gone under in 5 straight. Anaheim's gone under in 8 of their last 11. Remember when Anaheim couldn't help but go over every game, but now all of a sudden uh, they've gone under here in some games. Buffalo, we know, is a bit of an under for sure. But these two teams met back in January in Buffalo was 5-3. Buffalo's won 3 straight in the series. Anaheim's just 2-6 in their last 8 games at home against Buffalo. And well, I don't know, cheap price for this hot Buffalo team right now. But is Anaheim, playing well? They've won 10 of their last 15. So they're playing very, very well here, no doubt about it. They're still playing well. Anaheim also in a big battle, of course. Like I said, they're holding off Edmonton right now by 3 points, but nothing's for certain. Edmonton without Draisaitl, maybe the Ducks will hang on for this division title after all. Buffalo, meanwhile, they found their way to first place. You got 2 first place teams here right now. And what do you think in this one? Wow. Here we go with the chat. I mean, the total, what is it? Is it 6.5, right? You got a 6.5 over 20. And here you have Buffalo under in 5 straight. Anaheim, yes, they were scoring like mad. One of the, incredible offense. They've gone under in 8 of 11, 5 of their last 6 at home right now. So, okay, here we go. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it. Larry playing on FanDuel there. Great. A Ducks money line for Fish Den here. Sabres to light Bill Husso up. Buffalo is a serious team, Tim says. And more Moonman says, he blew it on Buffalo there last night. Buffalo money line for Larry here in this one. Yeah, it's hard not to take Buffalo the way they're playing right now. I'm going to do it too. In hockey, the bubble's got to burst sometimes. That's just the way it is. But right now, man, even on the back-to-back here, just got to take Buffalo again. Man, they're exciting, aren't they? All right. I got a couple more here right now. Here. We've got Lightning taking on the Flames here. My man Jonas Johansson's in goal there for the Lightning, going up against Dustin Wolf here. For Tampa Bay, 43, 21-4. They did play, of course, last night. They've won 3 straight. They look pretty good there, beating Edmonton 5-2. Calgary, meanwhile, off a couple of wins as well, 4-1 and 2-1. Here, look, Calgary does play better at home, no doubt about it, but you're playing this Tampa Bay team. Got to give Tampa plenty of respect here right now, despite the fact they've fallen behind the Buffalo Sabres. But still, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs. They've won, like I said, 3 in a row here, but Calgary's got some wins, and they're still 18-12 at home. Calgary's not going anywhere. We know that. They're way too far back here right now. Tampa Bay 20-16 to the over on the road, 36-26 to the over as a favorite here. Tampa Bay's gone over in 5 straight on the road, 6 of their last 8 overall. Calgary's dropped 8 of their last 12, but they've won 4 of their last 6 games at home right now. And it's tough to, Calgary does win some games at home. It feels like we're getting a discount on Tampa Bay here, actually, but let's see what you have here. The teams met back in Tampa. Their other meeting this season was 5-1. Tampa, they won last year's 2 games by a combined 11-3. Let's see what you have here. Maybe, I'm going to go to the chat. Here we go with Timmy's been waiting for the Sabres balloon to burst, and it's only gotten bigger. Fish Den says still take Tampa Bay. Calgary's bad. They are bad, but at least they are. They are 18-12 at home. But again, you're taking on a top team here for sure, right? So, Lightning money line for Larry. I don't mind the money line in a game like this. And Fish Den says Tampa Bay 4-1 there in their last 5 right now. All right. I probably just got to tail the Sharps here. I'm going with the over in this one. I think I'm using my premium play here in this pick because I can't decide on the side. I really do like the over in this game. It's my premium pick here, and I'm just going to use it right now because I can't decide on the side here. I want to give Calgary a little bit of respect. Oh man, you guys! I am sorry I'm moving around so awkwardly right now. Probably we did a little MMA show, and I was sitting here for 6.5 hours there too. So okay, I'm glad this is the last game. Kind of Kings and Mammoth. Where are we going here? Kings and Mammoth to wrap it up here. Man, the West Coast Eagles are on fire over there. Kings and Mammoth here in this one. Mammoth $1.60 against the struggling Kings here, losing 2 in a row right now. It looks like Kemper and Bemilka going in this one. The Kings here coming in with those 2 straight losses. Still one of the best road teams in the league, 18-9, but Utah is 18-12 at home here this season. Also, the Mammoth 26-19 is a favorite. Kings 10-18 as an underdog here. So not a great roll here, but definitely the price has gone up a little bit high here for the Mammoth. I think it's probably too high actually in this one. Total is 6. Mostly 6s out there, it feels like here with these two. Now, the Kings are 9-18-1 as an underdog here. And if it's going to be 6, I'm probably going to be on the under. Now, the Kings here, let me see here, have gone 4-6 to the under in their last 6, 8-10, 8-2 to the under in their last 10. The Kings have defeated Utah in 8 straight games coming into this one. So the price has gone high. I kind of want to be on the Kings, but they're just struggling to score some goals too here right now. I'm going to take the under in this one with the Kings and the Mammoth. All right, you guys, I got to go because my back, I'm going to have to lay down here. Kings money line. I'm not a back pain guy. Just for some reason tonight, it's getting to me. Maybe it is time. Okay, Kings money line for Larry, and I'm going to wrap up the show. You guys appreciate it. Timmy talking a little soccer in there, I believe. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on Night Moves. I'm back tomorrow. We'll talk a little NBA, NHL. We'll recap the Sunday games and college basketball as well. That's going to do it. You guys head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages. I'll see you tomorrow here on Night Moves and for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 53,000 subscriber juggernaut. I'm Ramon Scott. Good night from Las Vegas.